Good morning students, I am Shomajit sir. Today I am here to deliver my lecture on topic separation of mixture from two solids. This is from the chapter Is Matter Around Us Pure? So watch the entire video lecture to get basics out of it. So without any delay, let's start with the topic separation of mixture from two solids. So let's start. Let's start with a separation of mixture of two solids. Here you can see on top three different types are there. Three different processes are there. First is by using a suitable solvent. Second is by the process of sublimation. Third is by using a magnet. So in this video lecture I'll discuss point 1 and point 3, that is by using a suitable solvent and by using a magnet, and the point 2, the process of sublimation, will take it in the next class. So first one is the separation by suitable solvent. So here you can see water is there, sugar is there, and sand is there. Alright, so you all know that sugar is soluble in water and sand is insoluble in water. Alright, so here you can see in these cases, in some cases one constituent of a mixture is soluble in a particular liquid, whereas the other constituents are insoluble in water. That means what? Sugar is soluble in water but sand is insoluble in water. So this is the difference in solubilities of the constituent of a mixture that can be used to separate them. For example, sugar is soluble in water whereas sand is insoluble in water. Alright, so a mixture of sugar and sand. So again I repeat, so a mixture of sugar and sand can be separated by using a water as solvent. So this will become more clear from the following discussions. Alright, so I repeat, sugar is soluble in water whereas sand is insoluble in water. So this water is used as a solvent. Alright, so you can see here how you can separate a mixture of sugar and sand. The figure is given, you can see how you can separate a mixture of sugar and sand. You can see sugar is soluble in water whereas sand is insoluble in water. So that these differences in the solubilities of sugar and sand in water is used to separate them. So this is done as follows. You can see below one diagram is given. So the mixture of sugar and sand is taken in a beaker. Alright, so the mixture of sugar and sand is taken in a beaker and water is added to it. Okay, so what we find that the mixture is stirred to dissolve the sugar in water. You can see in figure 49a and b, the sand remains undissolved. Sugar get mixed whereas the sand remains undissolved. Next, what we'll do, the sugar solution containing sand is filtered by pouring over a filter paper kept in a funnel. So you can see here we have taken in a beaker sugar, sand, alright, and water. So sugar is dissolved in a water whereas sand is not dissolved. So now we are taking a filter paper, we are taking a funnel and we'll separate it by filtration, by the method of filtration. So what happens here, the sand remains as a residue on the filter paper and the sugar solution is obtained as a filtrate in the beaker kept below the funnel. So you can see in the filtrate below the beaker, you see in the beaker that is kept below there, it contains sugar solution whereas the sand is remained in the filter paper. Alright, next the sugar solution is evaporated. Alright, the sugar solution is evaporated carefully to get the crystals of sugar. In this way, a mixture of sugar and sand has been separated by using a water as solvent. Okay, so this is a method of separating sugar and sand by taking a water as solvent. So next you can see common salt is soluble in water whereas sand is insoluble in water. So a mixture of common salt, that is sodium chloride, and a sand can also be separated by using a solvent. So same way, another example we have taken because common salt, that is sodium chloride, is dissolved in water whereas sand is not dissolved in water. So here also you can separate by filtration method. Next, so this will be a similar to the separation of sugar and sand mixture which has been described above. So you should note that copper sulfate, ammonium chloride, potassium nitrate and potash alum are also soluble in water, but carbon and sulfur are insoluble in water. So sugar is soluble in alcohol, but salt is insoluble in alcohol. So you should remember that sugar is soluble in alcohol, but sand is insoluble in alcohol. So you can see on the right hand side a mixture of common salt and sand is given. So a mixture of sugar and salt can be separated by using alcohol as solvent. Alright, so a mixture of sugar and salt can be separated by using alcohol as solvent. So now we'll see this mixture. Alright, so you can see in the next experiment. So you can see in the next experiment how we can separate a mixture of sulfur and sand. Right, you can see sulfur diagram is given, sand picture is given. So what we do, we know that sulfur is insoluble in water, but sand is also insoluble in water. Alright, sulfur is insoluble in water and sand is insoluble in water, so we cannot we cannot use water. Right, so water cannot be used as a solvent to separate the mixture because sulfur and sand both are insoluble in water. So sulfur is however soluble in carbon disulfide. All right, so sulfur is soluble in carbon disulfide, whereas sand is insoluble in carbon disulfide. Therefore a mixture of sulfur and sand can be separated. Right, so mixture of sulfur and sand can be separated by using a carbon disulfide solvent. Okay, so this can be done as follows. Let's see. So you can see the mixture of sulfur and sand is shaken with carbon disulfide, then the sulfur dissolved in carbon disulfide, but whereas the sand remains undissolved. Next, the sulfur solution remained in the sand is filtered. All right, when sand is obtained as a residue on the filter paper and sulfur solution is obtained and the filtrate, on evaporating the filter, the carbon disulfide solvent is eliminated and solid sulfur remains behind. So this is the same process of previous one, filtration method. Carbon disulfide get dissolved in sulfur. Alright, then it is it doesn't get mixed up with sand, then the filtration takes place. The solution is remained in the beaker and sand is there in the top of the filter paper, then it gets evaporate, then we can get. So salt, sugar, carbon are also insoluble in carbon disulfide, so they can be separated from sulfur by using carbon disulfide as solvent. Next we have a separation by magnet. How you can separate the things by magnet? You can see iron, we know that iron is attractive by a magnet, right? Attracted by a magnet, so iron is attracted by a magnet. So this property of iron is used to separate it from a mixture. All right, so if a mixture contains iron as one of the constituent, so it can be separated by using a magnet. So for example, a mixture of iron fillings, so you can see here the magnet diagram is given, iron filling diagram is also given, and sulfur powder is also given. Right, so for example, you can see a mixture of iron filling and sulfur powder can be separated by using a magnet. So if a sulfur powder and iron fillings are mixed, then if I bring a magnet in front of the mixture, then all the iron filling will be separated from the sulfur powder. Alright, so this is because the iron fillings are attracted by the magnet and they get stick to it, but sulfur are not attracted by a magnet. So this will become more clear from the following discussion. So by this way the sulfur gets separated from iron fillings. So here is one experiment. You can see how to separate a mixture of iron filling and sulfur powder. So you can see right hand side figure 56, you can see the iron filling being separated from a mixture of iron fillings, all right, and the sulfur by using a magnet. You can see a mixture of sulfur and iron fillings are there, and if I bring the magnet in front of it, all the iron nails get attracted by a magnet. You can see horseshoe type magnet are there, and iron fillings cling to the magnet. Alright, so in order to separate the iron fillings from sulfur powder, a horseshoe type magnet is moved on the surface of the mixture. The iron fillings are attracted by the magnet. They cling to the poles of the magnet and get separated. So you can see this in figure 56. So this process has to be repeated a number of times to achieve complete separation of iron fillings. Alright. Next, sulfur powder is not attracted by magnets, so it remains behind. Since sulfur powder are not attracted, alright, sulfur powder is not attracted towards magnets, it remains as a residue, or it remains there only. So a mixture of iron fillings and carbon powder can be separated by using a magnet in a similar way. So another experiment are there that mixture of carbon powder and iron fillings can be separated by using a magnet in similar way, and a mixture of iron fillings and sand can also be separated by using a magnet. So a carpenter can also separate iron nails from the sawdust by using a magnet. So this is because iron nails stick to the magnet but sawdust does not. So in industries, the impurities of irons present in several substances is removed by using a magnet. So you can see here separation of scrap from iron. Alright, so you can see in figure 57, you can see the separation of scrap iron from a heap of waste material by using an electromagnet. So you can see electromagnet is there which removes all the iron particles from the scrap. So let's see a separation of scrap from iron. So what we have done, what they do that is, waste material supplied to the factories contain a number of scrap metals including iron. So in factory, scrap iron is separated from a heap of waste material by using a big electromagnet fitted to a crane. Alright, it's fitted to a crane. A magnet which works with an electric current is called electromagnet. So whenever a magnet works with an electric current, it's called electromagnet. So when a crane is fitted with a powerful electromagnet is lowered onto a heap of waste metal, then the scrap of iron fillings present in the heap cling to the electromagnet. So the crane is then moved up and away to drop the scrap iron fillings as a separate place or into a separate place. So this way the scrap iron is separated from the heap of waste material. Okay, so you can see the pictures. So this is all about the separation of mixture of two solids. Thank you. Thank you, student. This was all about the entire lecture. We have discussed about the topic separation of mixture from two solids. This was from the chapter Is Matter Around Us Pure? So stay at home, stay safe. I am Shomjisa signing off for today, and again we'll meet in the next class. Thank you, students.